The road to misery is paved with ignorance and avoidance. For centuries, the Stoic philosophers have imparted lessons to guide us toward a life of tranquility, strength, and inner peace. Yet, many of us choose to ignore these truths, stumbling into lives of discontent. Today, we uncover the life lessons you cannot afford to ignore if you wish to avoid a lifetime of misery. One of the most damaging habits we've developed in modern society is the constant need for external validation. We seek approval from others, measuring our worth by likes, comments, and the opinions of strangers. The Stoics warned against this centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, reminded himself daily that the opinions of others are fleeting and irrelevant. "It never ceases to amaze me," he wrote. "We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. When you base your happiness on external validation, you give away your power to the whims of others, setting yourself up for a life of misery." Ignoring this lesson traps you in a cycle of dependency, where your self-worth is tied to the unpredictable tides of public opinion. To break free, you must learn to find validation within yourself, and measure your worth by your own standards. How often do you find yourself frustrated by things beyond your control? Traffic, the weather, other people's actions. These are the daily irritations that can consume us if we let them. But the Stoics understood that the root of much of our misery lies in our desire to control the uncontrollable. Epictetus, a former slave-turned-philosopher, taught that some things are within our control, and some things are not. By understanding and accepting this, we can focus our energy on what we can change, our own thoughts, actions, and responses, and let go of the rest. Ignoring this wisdom leads to endless frustration and helplessness. When you stop trying to control what you cannot, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. Embrace the wisdom of the Stoics. Focus on what you can change, and accept what you cannot. In a world obsessed with wealth and possessions, it's easy to believe that happiness comes from material success. But the Stoics knew that the pursuit of material wealth often leads to an empty life. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men of his time, warned against the dangers of wealth, saying, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Materialism is a never-ending chase. The more you acquire, the more you desire, and the emptier you feel when possessions fail to fulfill your inner needs. Seneca believed that true wealth comes not from what you have, but from what you can do without. By ignoring the Stoic lesson on materialism, you set yourself up for a life of insatiable craving and dissatisfaction. True contentment comes from valuing what you already have and realizing that happiness cannot be bought. When you learn to detach from material desires and focus on inner virtues, you discover a richness that no wealth can match. Anxiety about the future is one of the most pervasive sources of human misery. We worry endlessly about what might happen, projecting our fears into a time that has not yet arrived. The Stoics recognized the futility of this. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." The Stoics understood that the future is beyond our control, and the only moment we can truly influence is the present. By allowing future anxieties to dominate your thoughts, you rob yourself of peace in the present. Embrace the Stoic wisdom. Focus on what you can do now, and trust that you will be prepared for whatever comes next. We live in a world where comparison is inevitable. Social media amplifies this, making it easier than ever to feel inadequate by comparing your life to the highlight reels of others. But the Stoics warned that comparison is a path to misery. Epictetus taught, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." The Stoics understood that every individual is on their own path, with their own struggles and victories. Comparing yourself to others only distracts you from your own growth. When you free yourself from the trap of comparison, you allow yourself to grow at your own pace, according to your own values. Focus on your own journey, and let others walk theirs. Perfectionism is often seen as a virtue, but in reality, it's a burden. The Stoics understood that striving for perfection is a recipe for constant disappointment and frustration. Seneca wrote, "It is better to conquer yourself than to win 1,000 battles." Victory over oneself is the greatest of all victories. The Stoics believed that perfection is an illusion, and the pursuit of it only leads to unnecessary suffering. When you let go of the need for perfection, you free yourself to focus on progress and growth. Embrace your imperfections, and find peace in the process, not in the unattainable goal. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. The Stoics knew that harboring anger and grudges only harms the one who holds them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." The Stoics believed that the path to peace is through forgiveness, not for the benefit of others, but for your own well-being. When you let go of resentment, you reclaim your peace and power. Forgive, not because others deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Change is inevitable, yet so many of us fear it. The Stoics recognized that resisting change is resisting the natural flow of life, and this resistance is a source of much misery. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Change is not to be feared but embraced, as it is the only constant in life. By fearing change, you limit your potential and growth. Accept it as a part of life, and you'll find opportunities where others see obstacles. Indecision is a thief of time and energy. The Stoics understood that life is too short to be paralyzed by indecision, and that action, even imperfect action, is better than inaction. Seneca wrote, "While we are postponing, life speeds by." The Stoics believed that the key to a fulfilling life is making decisions with clarity and resolve, without getting lost in endless deliberation. Don't let indecision steal your time. Make your choice, and move forward with confidence, knowing that progress is made through action, not hesitation. Worry is a burden we often carry unnecessarily. The Stoics knew that worry about the future accomplishes nothing and only drains the present of its peace. Marcus Aurelius reflected, "Do not let your mind dwell on the past or predict the future. Concentrate on what is happening now." Worrying about what might happen distracts you from what is happening and prevents you from living fully in the present moment. Free yourself from the chains of worry by embracing the present. Trust in your ability to handle whatever comes, when it comes, and focus on living today. In a world of abundance, overindulgence is a common trap. The Stoics understood that moderation is the key to a balanced and healthy life. Seneca advised, "The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today." You are arranging what is in fortune's control and abandoning what lies in yours. Overindulgence in anything, food, drink, or pleasure, leads to a loss of self-control and, ultimately, misery. When you practice moderation, you maintain your health, energy, and clarity of mind. Overindulgence may offer temporary pleasure, but it comes at the cost of long-term well-being. In a world full of noise, it's easy to ignore your inner voice, the voice that guides you toward what is right for you. The Stoics believed that true wisdom comes from within, and that you must listen to your inner voice to live a life of integrity. Epictetus taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." When you ignore your inner voice, you surrender your freedom to the opinions and expectations of others. To live a life of purpose and peace, you must learn to trust your inner voice. It is your guide to a life lived with intention and integrity, free from the pressures of conformity. The Stoics offered us a path to a life of wisdom, peace, and fulfillment. But these lessons are only valuable if we choose to heed them. Ignore them, and misery is the price you pay. Embrace them, and you may find the life you've been searching for all along. If you found these lessons meaningful, subscribe to our channel and join us as we explore more Stoic wisdom to help you live a better life. Don't forget to like, share, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content.